Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and thank you guys so much for joining with me here this morning. Today, we're going to talk about being flexible and what does that mean, and how can we be flexible. I think it's super important in our everyday life. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the notification bell and the like button. Follow me here on social media so you can be notified when we go live and we can engage, connect, and grow together. Today, I want to talk about, are you flexible? And you're saying, okay, what do you mean by are you flexible? I think in our everyday life that, sometimes we think we're flexible, but we're not always as flexible as we think. I remember when my husband and I, Jared, started pastoring, becoming a lead pastor of a church in a small town in Washington State. And our kids were grown and out of the house. And I remember how unflexible I was, or in my thinking in regards to parents and being able to do things and, not making flexible decisions to help them in the process. When we are out of a season of our life, we think we know what it's like, but honestly, our knowing was in a different season and a different circumstance. And a lot of times we become unflexible in regards to those situations and circumstances. And I remember going through a learning process and a changing of the way that I think in regards to, what life was like with having little ones attached to your, ankles and legs, and, having to get them motivated and ready and all of that kind of stuff, because my season of that had passed for a long time, and so learning how to transition and change. And then we had an opportunity to have some of our nephews living with us. And then all of a sudden, I was hit in the face with what it takes to actually work full time, have a family, have a life, and raise young children again. And I literally was like, God, I apologize, for the way that I was thinking, because I had become rigid because my situation and season has changed. So I want to ask again, are you flexible? And is your flexibility based on your experience from years ago? Or are you continuing to allow conversations in your life in order to be flexible with others around you? And you're saying, flexible in how? I think flexibility a lot of times can be supportive. Are we supportive of those that are around us? Maybe you have a business. Maybe you are a pastor of a church. Maybe, as you are, taking care of all of those in your family, are you flexible to their season, situations, and times? Are you supportive? And I want to use flexibility and supportive hand in hand. Are you supportive of where they're at? Of what they're going through? Maybe you can't see it from your perspective, or you're the way that you are, you would handle things differently. But how can we be more flexible and supportive? Here are a few things that I've written down that I think is helping me be more flexible and supportive with other people in different seasons, different times, and honestly, they're different, and so our personalities are different, and we respond and react to things differently because of who we are. So how can we be supportive and how can we be flexible with those around us? Number one, clearly, if you want to get together and do things, clearly have a set time, and not just your set time, but work it out with those people that you're wanting to connect with. And I remember a lot of times when our kids were growing up and Jared and I would do parties and different things and have people over and barbecues, we would have a set start time and a set end time. So people, for us, we knew that people weren't going to show up, 4 or 5 hours after it was over, but we had a set start time and we had a set end time. And we actually worked within those time frames. So when you're being supportive and flexible with other people and their schedules, have a set time to start and end things so they know what the commitment is. Number two, be mindful. Be mindful not just of your situation and circumstances, your time limits, what's going on in your life, but be supportive and be mindful of others around you. A lot of times young couples, young singles, or older singles and older couples that don't have kids, or don't have a lot of extracurricular activities, are more flexible. But let's be mindful of where everyone is at in the season of life. Number three, be understanding. I think, understanding is honestly goes hand in hand with loving, being understanding of their season, of their time, of, where their life is at, what's going on with them. So have a set start and end time, being mindful, being understanding. And number four, value that other person just the way that you want to be valued. Let's value those that are around us. So how can we be flexible with others and be understanding? Have a set start and end time, being mindful, being understanding, and valuing them as a person, and them as a family, them and others in general. I want to leave us with this thought: let's strive to be flexible with everyone in and out of work, home, extracurricular activities. Let's strive to be flexible and understanding, and in turn, we're going to come across as loving and caring versus dictating and not understanding. I want to be someone that someone can come to and have a conversation with and talk things through and be a support and be someone that can lean on versus someone that runs as, oh, Angie's asking to do something again, and just so rigid in how I want to get things done. I hope this has encouraged you today. Don't forget to share this on your social media, and if you have a prayer request, throw that in the chat box. I'd love to be praying with you, to connect with you and engage with you, so we can, grow together and encourage one another. You guys have a great Wednesday. I will see you soon. Peace.